and welcome to What is Your Mindset? My name is Dafna Gauthier, host of the show, and What is Your Mindset is about a show that looks to enhance or inspire people's lives, careers, or business. And today I have with me on my show Shinshuri of Oracles of Truth. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Shinshuri, your name Shinshuri is a very unique name. And I know on our television we have U.S. to May. Can you explain to our audience first about where the Shinshuri comes from?
I would love to. That's a very good question. I actually realized the meaning of Shinshuri 2 months ago. I was given the name Shinshuri back in 2001 before I moved back here from Michigan. And Shinshuri essentially is my soul name.
Okay.
It's the name that was given to me before I was born into this life. May is my birth name. So,
Okay.
in a nutshell, Shinshuri is my soul name. And when I speak and I go out and do things, I'm speaking from my soul.
Okay.
The person sitting with you right now is Shinshuri,
Okay.
not May.
Okay. So when you say your soul and your birth name, how do you get the audience to understand what that exactly means?
What it means is that all of us have a soul. We're born into the world with a soul. We're also born in the form of a human body that comes in as a little infant, a baby. The unique thing about me is I remember my birth.
Okay.
All right? And so I remember the experience of coming through my mother's womb.
Well, that's unique because I know I don't remember.
I remember. And so as I knew I came into the world for a purpose,
Okay.
but over time, through conditioning and things like that, you lose it. Mm-hmm. And unlike everyone else, I lost it. Okay. But I never lost the remembrance of that experience. Okay. So it helped keep me connected.
Okay. One thing you just mentioned is that you were born and brought here for a purpose. And I am a believer that everyone is put here for a purpose. And part of kind of what I wanted to speak to you about was your organization as well as the book you've written, Superconscious Model for Living. Mm-hmm. But first, let's talk about your business, Oracles of Truth. What is it exactly is your business and what does it do?
Oracles of Truth was given to me in 2008. It came to me just after I had I went through what I would call my nadir. When people say they're at their lowest of their lows and you know they don't know, they've hit rock bottom and they don't know how to get back up. Well, it wasn't so much of a rock bottom, it was more of an emotional kind of, low. Okay. And to come out of it, I got contacted. I like to call it a spiritual awakening or angelical moment. Okay. In 2008, I was living in Chicago, Illinois, and my business, Pedagio Media. I was in the corporate housing, and I came home one night. It was a Saturday night, August 8, 2008, and I went into the bathroom, and my consciousness illuminated. I mean, it just opened up. And it felt like someone was connecting to me, mm-hmm. but there was no one there.
But you were fully awake at this time?
I was fully awake.
Okay.
There was no one there. There was no presence. It was like, and I looked around, like, whoa, what's going on? Mm-hmm. And I got silent, and then it just stayed there. It radiated my entire top of my crown mm-hmm. was just illuminated. Okay. I mean, I could feel the energy there. And so I sat still for a minute and I said, I don't know why you're here, but whatever it is, I'm ready.
Okay.
I just knew, it was like something in me knew that whatever was happening, it was my time to be spiritually awakened.
And this was also at your lowest point of your life, you said?
Yeah, I was coming out of that point.
Okay.
I had released, so to speak, and I was poised, ready to have my spiritual awakening or activation. Okay. And so that's what happened.
Was this part of a transformation for you?
It was a transformation. It was the beginning of my transformation. Okay. It wasn't the actual transformation. The actual transformation came the moment I wrote a letter to release negative and displaced energies that I had rooted at the core of my being, a letter that I wrote to my mother.
Okay.
To get rid of negative regret and resentment from childhood, things that had happened that I had been holding on to for 38 years.
So you had baggage
I had
that you
baggage.
were holding on to.
Yeah.
And you finally released that baggage.
Right.
Okay, so you wrote a letter and then the release came.
It was all part of my spirit. Because
Right.
at the time I had that connection, all that was going on at the same time, and I was going through this transformational period. I was knowing things. Oracles of truth was given to me. Things I would be going shopping and things would appear in my consciousness. Oracles of truth, Oracle TV, Oracle Radio, and I'm like, what does that mean?
So you're saying that things were coming in your conscious of things you should be doing with oracles of truth, like
Well,
creating a radio
like
station
it was
and
like
television
I was
station.
being given direction.
Okay.
And then I started to learn to take dictation, so I got out a recorder.
Okay.
And when things would come into my consciousness, and I didn't know what it was, I would just say it.
Okay.
I would just speak it into the recorder, and then I listen back to it later.
Okay.
So I got specific directions. At night, I would be laying in the bed, and I'd be asleep, and I'd be awakened by this activity as if something was in the room, but there was nobody there. Almost like how, like if you watch a movie and you see people saying that they had some paranormal activity, but I wasn't afraid. I didn't feel like it was a ghost or something like that. It felt different.
Okay.
Not that I've had spirits, you know, try to reach out to me before. And there was fear when that happened before, but this one was more peaceful. It was more like angelical. It was more. I couldn't say it was angels because I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anything.
You just
I
felt
just
a presence.
I felt the presence. I felt the vibration. I heard the sounds.
What sounds?
There's a sound like right now. I'm hearing it.
Okay.
I can hear it right now.
Okay.
The wisdom of whatever is coming to me
Okay.
is coming through my top of my head, but it's radiating out through a vibrational sound that I can hear.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit more about Oracles of Truth as far as this is a nonprofit,
Yes.
and what exactly or what programs do you have with this nonprofit?
Well, at the time, I was finishing up my doctoral degree,
Okay.
and I had this passion for education to be able to bring tuition-free education to the world, but I didn't know how. And I was being given all this to show the link of what other components needed to be added to my research and what I was doing. So as I took dictation on the name of the company, Oracles of Truth, the programs like Oracle TV and Oracle Radio, I started to see the connection of how it fit with the curriculum and the competencies for the curriculum that I was already doing as a part of my research.
Okay.
And so Oracles of Truth became the vision for how, the vehicle for how I would manifest this tuition-free educational university that will transform education in this country. United States is only one country that's going to be doing it. The idea is that the whole entire world would ultimately have a educational transformation at the system level of how our educational system functions.
For free.
For free.
Okay. And so that's part of your goal for Oracles of Truth,
Right.
is to provide free education for people who would like to receive free education.
Any and everybody that has a willingness and desire to go to college,
Okay.
to be able to have access regardless of their ability to pay. At the time that Oracles of Truth was given to me, a philanthropic business model for education was also given to me, and I took dictation.
Okay.
So I have a philanthropic business model that shows the structure of how an organization like Oracle of Truth can operate and be sustainable while giving education away for free.
Has that been implemented yet?
Not in the educational field.
Okay, so you're still working on the backgrounds and the plan.
Well,
for that.
what we're doing is I'm taking concepts that are tried and true in the industry, and I'm applying